about that.
I think it's such a stupid.
What would you have done?
He doesn't know what he's. They wouldn't have ever had a spy balloon if I was president.
That, like, gave that away?
Okay. I want to hear. I want to hear what.
But I want to know this, and I'm gonna leave.
Okay. Chrissy Chaos.
It's a podcast, but like, what did I say? Okay, well, I guess we don't know.
I don't know. It was one person that caught it, and they're not responding right now. Oh, it's here. Okay. I think it's almost here. Wait, hold on. Can you grab the thing and bring it upstairs when it comes? Sure. Oh, Murat, World War II champs.
Okay, first of all, that's not him.
Wait,
that's just a general thing.
Yeah, World War II back-to-back World War II champs is like I've made that joke before, and I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, that's like a common thing.
Yeah,
but good catch though. Shot in the dark.
People genuinely hope what Andrew Tate is being charged with is true. They want those allegations to be true so he gets locked up. That's sick. I really hope this is Andrew Tate on an alt account and not like legitimately a person who is this fucking far gone. This tater tot is still chirping. Brother, the reason why people don't like Andrew Tate, at least for myself, is because of all of those crimes. Now, there's an investigation and now he's charged with those crimes. We don't want those things to be true. We know that they are very likely true. Why? Well, that takes you back to step one, the reason why we don't like Andrew Tate. It's not like we don't like Andrew Tate because he's too handsome and owns a Bugatti and tells young men to work out or whatever, okay? We don't like Andrew Tate because he on tape has said things about how you should be able to sex traffic women. He has written courses teaching others the most effective ways to dupe women into like lifelong sex work. I'm not missing your point. You have no point. Okay? My point is, Did you see the fucking Andrew Tate?
Ohio.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah.
He's brainwashed. You're missing my point. Where is it? Yeah. The reason why people don't like it is because those things are probably true, brother. That's the point. Especially because he's admitted to those things. Yeah. Bro, go outside. Motherfucker,
it's on a bicycle, dude.
It's 8:48, dude. It's 8:48. What are we supposed to do? Go outside and just like fucking stand around? Nothing opens in Japan until 10 a.m. anyway.
That's not true. The place I went to buy speakers yesterday was open 24 hours. I was there.
Oh, Don Quixote.
Yeah, so you can do things in Japan.
Yeah, let's go to Don Quixote.
Dude, I want to... Anyway.
34 MKD 50. Thank you for the 50 gifted subs. Mekade. Go buy speakers.
I did, right?
He did buy speakers. Oh, I'm on. They're finicky. Don't.
Dude, and they're RGB. What's up?
Yeah. How was your night after? Will texted me and said it was the worst strip club of all time.
It really was.
He literally was like, "You made the right choice by fucking not staying with us."
Did it have any redeeming qualities?
No, that you were there.
Aw, you're so sweet. Likewise. Couldn't take my eyes off one person there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he kind of served there. Read us to filth. What is this? Hoscourt is a bunch of 18-year-old dropouts of art school, broken in debt, begging the world for socialism, praising their leader who lives in a house worth their entire bloodline. Why does this have 1,000 likes?
Wait, is this actually XUC?
Why? Yeah, it's XUC saying that in his offline chat. Also, why is he so mad at Hoscourt? Which, by the way, true. Like, literally, he's not even wrong.
Is X mad at you again?
I fucking don't know, dude. I don't. Is XUC mad at me again? Yes and no, always, I think.
Can we get him Dave's as a peace offering?
What?
Can we get him Dave's hot chicken as a peace offering?
Yeah. I think he's mad at Austinox. Is that why? Austinox has nothing to do with the Hoscourt. Will, there's a coffee downstairs, cold brew. You can grab one as well. No, downstairs in the front. Doc and Nick would squash you like the fat little phony you are. I love fantasizing about like two grown-ass adult men with children like crushing another grown-ass adult man. That's what I like to do on my off time. Brother, I don't know, man. They might not want you educating their children. That's all I'm gonna say. If you got these kinds of fantasies on your mind, maybe maybe you shouldn't be talking to their children, having any conversations with their children. I'm just saying. He's wrong because Austin is in hot score, throwing off the average net worth. True. He's beefing it up pretty hard. Have you responded to Austin Ox's gift of prophecy? Yeah, I saw. The arc really heats up when Kick signs XQ for $100 million. He said this back in fucking February 3rd. Doc will assault you if you make a joke near him. He's not afraid of an assault charge. Yeah, that's also like his name is literally Dr. Disrespect, man. Like that's crazy to me that like you're watching a guy who like very clearly plays it up. Like I think he was a little mad at me for sure, but he was like playing it up and you took it at fucking face value. And unironically we're claiming that like he's gonna like fight me or something because I've disrespected him. Tired of Dr. Disrespect being such a gangster. Hey, Doc, pull your pants up and have a little respect. Yeah. People claim he's huge, not realizing you're 6'4", 250. No, Dr. Disrespect's pretty big. Dr. Disrespect is like 6'7". He's an athlete. I will openly stand by that. He's taller than me. He's 6'7". I don't know if he's actually I don't know how jacked he is, but he is an athlete for sure. Y'all both will throw your backs out. Don't even bother. You should ball up. He'd cook me 100%. I've seen his highlights. I mean, I don't give a fuck. I will always be honest. Same with Andrew Tate. Like, I don't like Andrew Tate. I dislike Andrew Tate way more than I care about Dr. Disrespect at all. But I will still admit that Andrew Tate could beat my fucking ass in kickboxing. You know what I mean? He's a professional fighter. Like, these are things that I will admit because guess what? I'm not a fucking primate, okay? I'm not like a 12-year-old who thinks like that is the end-all be-all, okay? You know what I mean? That's just... I know that like when you admit something like that, people go, what the fuck? Like, why is he admitting this? This is so stupid. It's like, what a bitch. It's like, no, I'm just not insecure about it. I'm perfectly aware of my skills and my means. You know what I mean? 31 versus 41 though, you win. It depends. I don't think I could beat Dr. Disrespect in basketball. He's very good. As far as I've seen. Yeah, what's with this baby thinking that he's better because he would beat you in basketball? I don't know if he could like beat my ass in general, but he could definitely cook me in basketball. You know? It's the my dad can beat your dad that every insecure male does. Ironic because it's like we're not even your dads. Well, Dr. Disrespect is certainly not your dad. Or, well, he may be. I don't know. I don't know. Is your mom a Twitch streamer? Like an e-girl? You know what I mean? Could be the father that stepped up for you. Okay, I'm gonna stop. I've literally never talked about Dr. Disrespect this much, other than when he was promoting David Icke and saying the Shungite shit, which was pretty funny.
There wouldn't be a spy balloon over our country. That spy balloon was going right over our nuclear sites, taking pictures. And we killed it after it was leaving. It was going back home to China, wherever it was going. But we shot it down over the ocean after it had done all of its work. You know, they don't keep it on the balloon and then you pick it up. That stuff is sent back to China instantaneously as it's taken. So a statement like that is so stupid. They've taken pictures of every one of our nuclear facilities in the Midwest, where we have a lot, where they know better than anybody that we have a lot.
And you're saying that wouldn't happen under you?
They wouldn't have ever done it, no. They wouldn't have ever done it, no. President Xi and I had a very strong relationship, just like I did with Kim Jong-un of North Korea. Look,
MKD gift another
when I took
50?
office, everyone assumed we were going to war with...
Jesus fucking Christ, bro. This man is gifted 5,000 gifted subs at this point. Literally, at this point, if you haven't gotten a gifted sub from 34 MKD, you're just never getting one. And you're probably going to see the ads at the top of the hour when I run them. Because I run a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. And you're most likely going to see them. Okay? You're most likely going to see them unless you subscribe on your own. Because he has gifted more. He has more money than Andrew Tate. It's established. It is known. Okay? That's number one. Number two. One personal pet peeve. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. Here, I'm going to run it now. I have a pet peeve. I hate when Starbucks in Japan gives you cold brew in the paper cups instead of like the regular plastic. President Ari, thank you for the 25 gifted subs. Wasn't there like a list of balloon flyovers during Trump's presidency? Yes, as a matter of fact, there was. Good point that you just brought up. There was plenty of Chinese espionage that was occurring under Donald Trump as well. It's a constant.
With North Korea, including President Obama. He said the single biggest problem we have in the world today is North Korea. I said, have you called him? And I got sort of a mixed answer. The answer is he did call, but Kim Jong-un wouldn't see them, okay? Tough guy, smart guy, tough guy. I got along with him, and there was no threat. I did an amazing job. That would have been a war. If Obama would have stayed, or if Hillary Clinton would have been in, a little bit longer, if they would have extended his term miraculously, but if Hillary Clinton would have gone, you would have had a nuclear war with North Korea. And by the way, you're possibly very close right now. This is the most dangerous time in the history of our country. You're possibly very close to having a nuclear war.
He's besties, dude. He gifted again. 34 MKD 50. You're a fucking freak.
With Russia.
All right, let's talk about Russia. You said you would end the Russia-Ukraine war in 24 hours.
That's right.
Your GOP opponents, well, they don't believe that. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie said this. Despite how ridiculous that is to say, I suspect he would try to do it by turning Ukraine over to Putin and Russia. How would you do that?
Okay, ready? Number one, Chris Christie, who I know very well, he got out of New Jersey after the Bridgegate scandal, which was a mess. He got out of New Jersey with a 9% approval rating, and most people say it was less than that, okay? No, he wouldn't be the right guy to do it, but
People
I
say
am.
it was lower.
I got along with Zelensky
said, "Can
very
it
well
go lower?"
because he
I
came
said,
up with
"Maybe."
the impeachment hoax number one. He come up, you know what he said? No, I wasn't threatened at all. I don't even know what you're talking about. When they said, were you threatened by President Trump? He was very good. He could have grandstanded and said, well, I felt a little bit threatened. No, he wasn't threatened at all. And he said it very loud and I got along with him very well. I respected him for that. Because frankly, he could have done a grandstand and, you know, maybe look good, maybe look bad. I don't know, but he could have done something different. He said, I was never threatened. That was a very nice conversation. I called him up to congratulate him. And with Putin, I have a very good relationship. I mean, I haven't spoken to him in a long while, but I had a very strong relationship with Putin.
But was he wrong to invade Ukraine?
He wouldn't have done it if it were me.
But
He did that
move.
after I left. I thought he might do it. Look, I took.
Dude, this is always like so odd for Trump to maintain this position. This is like one of the very few instances where it does feel weird, like I'm not like a blue and on, Russiagate liberal at all. But like, this is objectively an odd position for Donald Trump to have. To be like, it would have never happened. Like, I get what he's trying to say, but he's really not beating the fucking, Vladimir Putin is his bestie allegations here. You know what I mean? Bro, are you dumb or what? He's not a NATO guy, simple. I mean, there's a lot of people who think he's not, but it don't matter. Like, he just wanted to milk NATO for more money. That's it. OnlyFans got banned in Turkey. You're the best next thing, bro. Fuck yeah. All right, it worked for me, I guess.
I said, if you do it, there's going to be hell to pay. It's going to be a catastrophe. Don't do it. He said, no, you won't do that. I told him I was going to do something. He said, no, you will not do that. I said, I will, Vladimir, I will do it. I'm going to do it. And you know what? He didn't believe me. Whatever. It was pretty bad. And he didn't believe me at all, except for maybe 10%. And 10% is all you needed. There was no threat. It was only after I left that you started hearing about this.
But you believe Ukraine is a
you,
separate country from Russia?
Yeah, right. It's a separate country,
So
but at one point it wasn't a separate country.
Should Putin have Crimea?
Putin liked it that way better.
Is that part of the deal? Should Putin get Crimea? Is that what you...
Right now, I don't talk about those deals because it really would impede a negotiation. But I'm telling you, within 24 hours, that's what I did. I became very rich by doing deals, very rich. And you know what? Much more so than people even understand. And that's what I do. I would have a deal done in 24 hours from the time we started. And I would tell Zelensky something, and I would tell Putin something, and I'd get him into a room, and I'd tell him again and again. I would have a deal done very quickly. And you know what? The death would stop, and the destruction would stop. Because, look, Ukraine has been wiped out.
Under your administration, the U.S. did not go to war.
That's right. First time in 78 years.
Can you see a scenario where you would go to war? If Iran, for example, got a nuclear weapon?
Yeah, I can see that, yeah. We would have had a great deal with Iran. I was getting very close to Iran. We would have had a deal done with Iran within 2 weeks after the...
Dude, his legacy, okay, so there are parts of which I agree with, and then there are parts like this where I'm like, what are you talking about? You literally executed Soleimani, which was insane. You threw away the signature accomplishment, foreign policy accomplishment of the Obama administration, the Iran denuclearization agreement, which Iran kept following through on even after Trump threw it aside. You hired Bolton, who jerks off exclusively to the idea of nuking Iran in its entirety. And now you have the audacity to be like, I was so close to getting a deal with Iran. It's like, no, you weren't. You fucking were not. You were so not. You did all the wrong things on Iran.
The election, they wouldn't have had a nuclear weapon, and they would have been very happy. Everybody would have been happy. I terminated that horrible thing called the Iran nuclear deal, one of the dumbest deals I've ever seen. I've seen some dumb ones. NAFTA was bad. They were all bad. The dumbest one was the Iran nuclear deal, where billions of dollars in cash was brought over to Iran in Boeing 757s and just handed billions. Cash, green cash. Remember one thing about that deal, it expired in a short period of time. You know, it expired. And that gave them an open road to having nuclear weapons. You know, people thought like this Iran nuclear deal that was done by Obama was like a good deal. It was so terrible. But remember this, it expired in just about now. It expired. And once it expired, they had the right to do anything. I terminated that deal, was on my way to making an unbelievable deal where they don't have nuclear weapons. The other thing
They just shut it off. He was going to do it. He was so close. But then they stole the election from him, probably because they hate him. And they were worried about the unbelievable deal that he was going to put together with Iran. I mean, the greatest deal, many were saying.
I think doing very well with China and Russia, getting rid of nuclear weapons. I was making a lot of progress on that until the election.
And you think that's all gone away?
I think it can come back, but it certainly went away quickly.
One of the people,
because
one of the
this
countries...
current administration doesn't have the capability to do it. They don't have the capability to do it. They don't have a clue. The Chinese, very smart. This is a very smart country. They own us. Until I came along, they just owned every president, including presidents that I liked. But remember,
we're in a relatively shitty predicament right now because Connor had Connor double booked. So I hit up our guy who wants to be our handler. And I told him, wait, what time is it right now? Okay, it's not. We have 2 more hours. I told him that we are down for possibly a soba eating, like a food eating challenge today. We're gonna eat noodles, like a noodle eating competition.
All right.
You're cooked. You can't do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let everybody down, but that's okay. I'm there for it.
So I also wanted to play ball before we did the soba, so at least like we got some fucking cardio in, but I guess not. We won't do that.
I mean, we could just walk around a shit ton.
But after that, I was thinking we're probably gonna go to Shinjuku, Akihabara, and do the crane thing.
What crane thing? They got cranes?
Yeah, we'll do a crane. John Morant wants some sushi. Get this man to an omakase. John Morant. No guilt on vacation? Yes, guilt on vacation. I still am like...
for this, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars. I put a 50% tax on a tariff on, tax or tariff, you can call it either one, but I put a tariff on steel. If I didn't do that, you wouldn't have any steel mills. If I didn't do that, you wouldn't have washing machines in the United States being made anymore.
One of the countries that's very concerned, obviously, about Iran and its nuclear ambitions is Saudi Arabia.
Sure.
What do you make of the Biden administration policy to Saudi Arabia?
I think it's terrible. We've lost Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, they're friends of mine. They're great people. The crown prince and the king, I got along with them incredibly good. They would do anything. They are great, great people. But they've actually gone over to China now, if you think about it. Think of it. It was even unthinkable. If somebody suggested it during my administration, nobody would take it even seriously. Saudi Arabia's really gone over to China. China's protecting them now. We have lost Saudi Arabia. Biden goes over and does...
He's not wrong about this. I mean, we haven't lost Saudi Arabia, but he's technically not wrong.
A fist pump with the king. Now he's the king, the future king of Saudi Arabia. You know what a fist pump is? Don't touch my hands because they're dirty. So he tells him, don't touch my hands because your hands are dirty. Let's do a fist pump. And he does a fist pump. Do you know how insulted they were by that? Look, we have people that are stupid running our country.
I love these like random things.
This is the most
that he
dangerous
holds on
time in the
to.
history, in my opinion, in the history of our country, in the history of the world, because of the power of weaponry. This is the most unbelievably dangerous time because of nuclear weapons and other things, by the way. We have incompetent people running our country in the most dangerous time. Now, little articles come out, little articles, just like two sentences long, that they spotted Russia sending nuclear weapons to Belarus. Little article, like 2 sentences. I said, that's a big thing. See, that's a big thing. That's so big. Can't allow that to happen. That's so big.
So what would you have done?
What's going to happen? He wouldn't have done it with me. Putin wouldn't have done it with me, but that's the difference. Hard to explain that to people. Have the right president by phone calls and quick meetings.
What the fuck? I don't know what's going on.
And quick meetings than you can by having all these so-called geniuses all over the place that don't know what they're doing.
On Saudi Arabia, what do you say to the critics who say you're too close to them, that you're getting a lot of money from live golf, playing at your golf courses, and that there are billions of dollars of investment with your son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and daughter Ivanka? What do you say to that?
So I say proudly that I'm the only president. I expected I'd lose $1 billion or $2 billion. It's probably more than that by being president. I lost billions of dollars by not doing deals in Saudi Arabia. I could have done hotels in Saudi Arabia. I could have done hotels in the Middle East. They offered me, I turned down one deal for $2 billion, net, nothing to do. Just use the name Trump and build your job and this and that. I would have, $2 billion, I turned it down because I said it was inappropriate for us to do it. I told my kids who are good kids, and they're working kids.
What the fuck? You literally did do that, though. What is he talking about? Why is he saying this? I mean, I guess technically Jared is not his kid. It's his son-in-law.
And that scam artist. I told Don and Eric, we don't want to do any deals. And Ivanka, I don't want to do any deals. I just don't want to we got a lot of stuff. Just run it properly like this. Run it properly. I don't want to do deals because any deal I do is going to be perceived as being in conflict. Then all of a sudden I start to see the stuff that Biden's done, where he's going around scamming every country. He goes to a country and then millions of dollars shows up into accounts. And these aren't deals. This is cash coming in. And here's the most disappointing thing. The press doesn't want to cover it. Jamie Comer and Jim Jordan and that whole group, they're doing an incredible job. You take a look at the amount of writing done on the millions and millions of dollars coming out of China and other countries like, Ukraine, into the Biden family. And in all fairness to Fox, other than you, there's basically nobody that
I
reports
just
on
want
it.
to rewind. Did you just praise Fox?
I did. I gave you a good little.
Thank you. Yeah, we have been covering that.
No, you do
pretty
cover it. No, I
significantly.
give you.
Would you want
credit.
Jared and Ivanka to serve in a second administration?
No, I said that's enough for the family. You know why? It's too painful for the family. My family's been through hell. I mean, Eric, my son, who's a fine boy, you know him very well. He's a fine young man, good student, good everything, comes in, we're doing beautifully. Then I decide to run for president. I mean, I don't think anybody in the world in history has ever had more subpoenas sent to him. Nobody has been through what my family has been through. Ivanka had a really successful line of clothing. I mean, making a fortune. When I did this, she was really felt she had to, but she closed it up. My other boys were doing great. And I said, instead of let's take advantage of being president, I mean, some people would say that's stupid because everyone else has done it. Nancy Pelosi's worth $125 million, I read, and she never got paid more than $150,000 a year. How does that happen? How does that happen?
Yeah, you want to go through this all again.
Because I want to make America great again. We had it great. We had it great. We were respected all over the world. Very simple. I want to make America great again.
Today is Juneteenth. What do you think of this federal holiday?
Oh,
and,
God.
and what do you say to people who insist that Democrats are traditionally better for African Americans or the black community at large?
Well, if you look at Abraham Lincoln, I always say he was a Republican. A lot of people don't know that. But Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. He was a Republican. If you look at my numbers, how well have I done? You know, if you take Romney, it was at 4%. And I, with the black male, look like I'm going to be at 30%. Nobody's ever seen a number like that. And I say the Democrats have done a horrible, horrible job for the African-American population. Horrible job. Horrible job. Couldn't be worse.
Another part of the interview today from Bedminster. We will have part 2 tomorrow. There's a lot more in there as well. Let's bring in our panel tonight. Dana Perino is co-anchor of America's Newsroom, co-host of The Five. Larry Kudlow of Fox Business. Martha McCallum, anchor of The Story, and Fox News chief political.
Larry Kudlow, the drunkest man in America.
Political analyst Britt Hume joins us. You're there, Britt. What do you think?
Well, fine interview, Brett. You let him have his say, but you challenged him as well you should have. That's a very difficult kind of interview to do, so kudos to you for that. I would say a couple of things. One is that his answers on the matters of the law seem to me to verge on incoherent. He seemed to be saying that the documents were really his and that he didn't give them back when he was requested to do so and when they were subpoenaed because, he wasn't ready to because he hadn't sorted them and separated the classified information or whatever from his golf shirts or whatever he was saying. It was not altogether clear what he was saying, but he seemed to believe that the documents were his, that he had declassified them, evidence to the contrary, and therefore he could do whatever he wanted with them, which I don't think is going to hold up in court. Secondly, when you ask
Yeah, no, it's great. I love hearing serious legal analysts in a heated battle to desperately try to make it seem like Donald Trump isn't fucked.
asked him what his pitch was to the kind of suburban female voter that he had lost in 2020, his answer was to talk about how he didn't lose the 2020 election. I don't think that's an appealing message for the future, and I'm sure his legal and political advisors were wincing all the way through his answers on both those points.
Martha.
He's just fucked. Like, it's not that complicated. He's just fucked. What is this? XQC versus Pokey?
So the main problem that happened with that initially, right, is that the whole idea.
Fucking content.
So
Let's
people,
go.